Hello, everybody. We're about to hop into our third and final adventure of the evening, which I've entitled Dr. Goose. Very excited about it. Before we get into it, as always, though, we are going to introduce our characters. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome back Frostbyte. Hello, Frostbyte. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
What's new in the life of the Ice Assassin, as you are known throughout the realms of DnDTime?
I get to visit lots of interesting places, got lots of interesting people, you know.
You say kill lots of interesting people?
Yes, I am an assassin.
I mean, of course, you're an assassin. Nothing else is to be expected. Do you ever feel, if you're killing someone that's particularly interesting, do you ever feel it's like just a shame? Like, what a waste of this person. Maybe I could have, gotten to know this individual.
Not really. I mean, I have to get to know them before I kill them anyways. I mean,
I guess that's true. Researching your target is probably a very important part I wasn't considering.
yes, it is very important. I mean, do you know how many duplicates Rapunzel has? I mean,
I don't. How many?
I have killed at least 12 so far. I mean,
So in a lot of
I
ways,
still haven't gotten the right one yet.
in a lot of ways,
She's
you
a
probably have
wily
become
one.
friends with Rapunzel through killing all of her duplicates.
You'd think that, but every time every time I think I've killed her, she's still alive somehow.
Classic, your princess is in another castle situation.
Yes, but
Frostbyte, welcome back.
will
It's good to see you.
Has to run out sooner or later.
She has to. It's good to see you again, Frostbyte. And next up, we have returning. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Welcome back to Sugarmama the Sweet. Hello, Sugarmama.
Yes, hello everyone. Hello, Pete. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Sugarmama, how are you?
Oh, I take care of this and that. I baked some cookies for everyone.
Oh, really? What kind of cookies?
These are sugar cookies, Mama's special.
I should have known. That's very sweet of you to do, Sugarmama, which is, I suppose, why you have gained the title that you have. How's the family?
Oh, they're good. They're good. Gabby's getting into trouble. He's gumming things up as as usual. Sweet Tooth is getting into his hyper phase. All the youngins go through it.
How old is Sweet Tooth now?
Oh, he's getting into the terrible teens, let me tell you.
I was going to say, he's growing up. His age is increasing in time, actually. It's been like 2 years since I first met Sweet Tooth.
Yes. Papa has his hands full with him.
And how's Papa?
Oh, he's good. He's as rambunctious as ever,
Indeed. I'm glad that you've been able to take a brief moment from your busy life at home to come out and do some adventuring once more, Sugarmama.
Yes, I like to take care of my adventuring boys too.
You have to. It's good to know that. I'm sure they're all relieved to know that you'll be there for them. Welcome back, Sugarmama.
Yes.
Next up, we have returning once more, Zewxip. Zewxip, how are you today?
They're fantastic. But the summer is coming to an end.
Yes, I know that the summer is a favorite of yours, but the fall has its own appeal, does it not?
It does, and it's good for a little side income. About this time, many people begin asking us to produce pumpkins, and they keep just calling it spice, but it's several, but they refer to it as a singular thing.
Probably, when you're in kind of a trade like that, I imagine it can be a little frustrating when they're asking you something so complicated as if it's, the easiest thing in the world, just to make pumpkin spice.
Yes, it takes effort. I grow these pumpkins with care, and the spice, I freshly shave it off of my arms on request. It takes a little bit to build up the flake.
Yeah, all that cinnamon and nutmeg and such, but I imagine there must be good money in it. It seems like, it seems like a lot of the Florans around here are really kind of pushing that pumpkin spice this time of year.
Yes, well, it's well, it is what it is. Not that I need the money, and also not that I'm bragging. Oh my, I seem to be saying I a lot. That's been happening a lot more, my friend. I seem to be having. Could just be seasonal. Uh, sorry.
No, not a problem, of course. But of course, normally, Zewxip, you do say we in reference to all of the other myriad clones of yourself throughout the lands, yes, or other Zewxips.
Yes, this has us. Well, us. The plural us, not singular us. This has us somewhat baffled as to why it is I am different in a way.
Well, Zewxip, I'm sure that the answers will come over time, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, at least from my eyes, you are different. I see you all the time around here. You're the Zewxip that I know, so you feel unique to me. But I suppose that's for you to rest with yourself.
Thank you. And when we finish with this adventure, feel free to peel a long strip of cinnamon right off my back.
I would love nothing more. I am a big fan of pumpkin spice myself. Thank you very much, Zewxip. And last but not least, it has been some time since we have seen Dustu Galu returning once more. The Hardened, if I remember, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
Dustu, how are you?
Well, I am well. Aha. Well, I have been meditating for a long time. And then I fell asleep. And then the next thing I knew, it had been months.
Yes, time can fly very quickly. Especially, I mean, it's so easy for things to just pass by when you're deep in thought, as it sounds like you were. In your meditations,
Yes.
did you learn anything?
Well, I learned that there is much for me to do. Peace is not yet in the land of DnDTime. Not when there are still warring factions between the Conch and the Cloud.
Indeed. While two of the leaders of the respective Conch and Cloud religions, Keros and Uchankas, have come together in a kind of moment of brotherhood, I know there are still fringe groups that battle back and forth, despite their kind of respective leaders choosing a more peaceful path.
Yes. Well, those that are more erratic in nature tend not to listen to the more sane folks. Uchankas is a good leader, although he is strange in his own way.
That is certainly true. And Dustu, just for reference, which I don't know why I'm even bringing this up, but you are a turtle person.
I am a war turtle, yes.
Yes.
I'm actually a very ripped turtle.
A turtle who practices war, in an essence, is what you mean by that, of course.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I am a very ripped turtle.
Yes. Well, very good. It was good to see you once more, Dustu. Welcome back.
Thank you, DM Pete.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And so, without further ado, let our adventure here begin. Bartholomew, our quest giver, has sent all of you out to a region far in the southern area of the lands of DnDTime. A place known as the Slumbering Spine. It is a great, massive mountain range that stretches all kind of along the southern border of the lands of DnDTime. And as you're kind of climbing and walking up it, reaching your destination near one of its highest peaks, you can feel that the ground around you shifts and moves up and down in a steady rhythm. The almost seeming breath of the mountain for which it received its name, the Slumbering Spine. As you draw ever closer to its peaks, you see in the distance a small kind of shack that is here laid atop the highest point. And that is, of course, your destination. Your ultimate destination would be the Plane of Dreams, but this is the point of rest, from which you are able to access the Dreamwalker Monastery. Where we begin, the four of you are getting closer and closer to this kind of shack that's atop the mountain, where you will eventually meet with Soam, the leader of the Dreamwalker monks, who has requested your presence. What would you all like to do?
It's always nice to meet with those who practice meditation as well.
Yes, you have the your, I guess, status as a monk in common with your contact today.
Well, I am a cleric, but I practice the same
yes.
kind of peace of mind as the monks.
I've always thought of you as, in some ways, as perhaps just some of the way I've seen you battle in the past. Sometimes you'll punch and things. I was kind of in my brain picture you fighting.
Mostly that is when I am disarmed. I have my claws to thank for that.
Indeed. So yeah, the rest of you are kind of trekking upwards. The gravel's loose under your feet. The slopes here are a bit treacherous, but also just the steady waving up and down in the mountains. You don't feel yourself growing, physically exhausted. If anything, a little bit sleepy.
Would anybody like some warm cookies?
I have brought cookies.
I can conjure cookies at will. It is quite nice to have.
But can you conjure some milk for these cookies?
I
And
never
Sugarmama
thought of that.
pulls out a plate of delicious home-cooked sugar cookies. Do you guys all partake?
Yeah, I suppose so. I will also conjure some of my own cookies. It's basically, it's like he's conjuring a recipe that he's created.
How do you do this?
Using Grandarf's oven mitts.
Ah! You have Grandarf's oven mitts. Sugarmama, you've heard tell of the most sacred of holy relics that was produced from the bag.
Oh my. Are those Grandarf's oven mitts? I've been looking to get my claws on some of those. I'm going to be a Grandarf one day.
I cannot wait to see that. For now, please enjoy these cookies.
Do you have any with nightcrawlers and mealworms?
I don't know if it specifies any kind of cookie in the Grandarf's oven mitt.
I wouldn't know either, but it sounds like you did not make ones like that.
I did not.
Yeah. You guys enjoy some cookies. Zewxip, do you partake?
I don't need to partake, besides perhaps holding on to one for warmth. However, if we're going to have a bit of a picnic, I'm going to open my helpful handbasket and give each of my 3 friends a delicious puff pastry.
Oh.
And upon consuming that, you will also get a benefit. You will be under the aid spell.
Oh my, so many snacks today. We should all watch it though. We don't want to get too full.
Yes, and as you all enjoy some tasty treats, Sugarmama, Dustu, and Frostbyte, all of you find your hit point maximum raised by 5 points, thanks to the delicious biscuits from Zewxip. And you kind of reach the top of the mountain, and you can see the House of Rest is there. On the door, the house, of course, is just a very small single-room building. There's like a sliding door on the front of it. A simple note reads, I look forward to seeing you at the monastery soon. And then the signature is from Soam. For any of you who've interacted with them before, you're aware that she is the leader of the Dreamwalker monks. Inside, there are 4 nicely made cots just resting there on top of the mountain.
Well, Sugarmama's going to get off her old bones and take a bit of a nap then. I see you boys in the Plane of Dreams.
Indeed.
Is the cot necessary? I might need to lay on the ground and wiggle my you would call them toes into the earth.
That is of course fine.
So
You
I
want to
will-
stay outside?
Yes, if possible, I would like to make
Yeah.
contact with this beautiful mountain of air.
Certainly, certainly.
I will
you-
go inside and basically huddle into my shell and go to sleep.
Very good. Zewxip, you kind of dig your roots into the ground and kind of commune a little bit on the outside. Frostbyte?
Frostbyte will go inside, I guess.
All right. And as you all kind of lay down in your own respective way for sleep, the gentle heaving of the mountain up and down, the light breeze and winds here on top of the mountain, you find yourselves lulled exceptionally quickly into a state of sleep. And as you do so, your eyes open, and you stand atop a mountain within the plane of dreams, a plane of imagination and thought, where all of the things that people dream about become real. The space that you're in is gorgeous, completely almost near idyllic. You can see a number of monks and other individuals walking around, kind of going about chores and things. You can see some of them are tending to some of the sheep that reside here on top of the Dreamwalker monastery. Around you in the distance from this viewpoint, you can see all manner of strange flora and fauna, and just odd environments. In the distance you see just a tornado of wind that seems to whip about. You can see trees of brilliant and vibrant colors, purples, blues, greens, oranges, yellows, everything that you could imagine upon the spectrum, and some that you probably couldn't. And you now stand on the top of this mountain. A gentle stream runs through amidst this monastery where people seem to be working and going about their kind of daily chores, and kind of nearby from where you appear, you can see an elderly woman, hair tied back in a tight bun, pretty on the very short side. She kind of walks with a cane, and as you all just suddenly appear into this space, she says, "Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Welcome, all of you, to the Plane of Dreams. Have any of you not been here before?"
We haven't been here before.
Oh.
I don't believe I have been here either, though I have heard much of it.
I don't remember. I think I have, but you know, my memory goes these days.
I've only been here in my dreams, I believe.
That is very funny. Yes, all people, I suppose, do come here in their dreams to an extent. But yes, I suppose my memory can be a bit foggy too. I don't know if I seem very familiar, but there was a lot of mix-ups with Bartholomew's Adventuring Company almost a year ago now, when we had some issues with, you know, the whole nightmare court and all of that. That was
Yes, I remember that. That was a little scary.
Things have certainly settled down around here since then. It's been quite peaceful atop of the mountain. It was quite peaceful up until today, really.
Oh, that's tragic, as we're entering a season of rest and relaxation.
Yes, we've had a somewhat of an unwelcome house guest. They are bird, a big goose, and they won't leave. I don't know who dreamed them up, but they dreamed them up fairly frustrating. They are, if you want to look, they are over there. And you can see over in the distance, she points kind of across the way, you can see what looks like the head sticking out over the top of one of the buildings of the monastery of what looks like a giant goose. It's wearing a top hat, and it's just kind of sitting and like rocking back and forth. He is relatively calm right now, but he has been causing some problems with some of the other members of the monastery. And she kind of looks over and she just goes, Dilo, come here now. And Dilo walks up, and as you do, you see this monk. He's wearing the kind of traditional robes, and as he starts walking towards you, you kind of hear, and it completely kind of breaks the tranquility, as his legs seem like they've been turned into accordions, and his head's kind of moving out to the side a little bit, also kind of in the shape of an accordion, and he walks up, and you see him, his eyes, his mouth kind of opens up to speak, and he just kind of goes.
Very odd.
I agree.
You have to enunciate for us, please.
I believe the pronunciation was that strange goose thing turned my head and my mouth and my voice and my legs into accordions.
And that's not normal here?
That is more normal here, perhaps, than most places, but we would prefer it not to happen. And, well, I would ask that, well, you just kind of get him to go. Over time, I know that we can heal him, and, well, when he goes home, it'll all be fixed. But if he's sowing kind of all this kind of chaos around here, then we won't be able to do our job, which is to protect the plane of dreams.
Oh, don't worry, dearie. We'll help you out.
All right, well, we tried to get him to go, and we tried to sort of push him out, but he wouldn't leave. So I do wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you're able to, well, like I said, just get him out of here however you can.
All right, dearie.
Thank you so
Boys,
much.
shall we go?
Yes, I suppose it is best for us to go.
Yeah, do you guys want to go over and talk to this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, you walk around, and as I said, as you kind of turn around the corner, and you're seeing this strange, giant goose. As you whip around, you kind of seeing him from the other side around the building. Like I said, it's a big, tall goose. I would say huge size category. He's wearing a top hat. He has a monocle on. He's also wearing what looks like a very nice sweater vest, and is sitting just kind of like humming to himself. Over next to him, there is what appears to be a very strange creature. They have what looks like almost a little palm tree popping out of their head, and they look like they're wearing like footy pajamas or something like that, and they're there next to him just playing on kind of an upright piano, just some kind of like very like upbeat music. And as you kind of get closer, and he sees you walking forward, he kind of leans down to that strange piano playing creature, and he just goes, "Oh, look now, friends, I see new friends 4. Look now, 4 friends arrive here at my door." And as he says the word door, you just see, whoop, in front of him, a big door just kind of like pops up and kind of like blocks your path where you're walking towards him.
Sugarmama will go up to the door and knock. It's only polite.
All right, and you see him kind of looming high above the door. His head kind of leans down, and a winged hen goes over and opens it up and says, "Hello and greetings and good day to you. Come in, salutations, please. How do you do?"
Oh, hello there, Mr. Goose.
And
He smiles at all of you and kind
Thank
of
you for
gestures with a wing for
inviting
you to
us
come in.
in.
and Sugarmama will toddle through the door.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Goose, it is very kind of you.
Oh, that's not a problem. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help with my friend here. He's Schnelp, and he points over at the piano player.
Hello, Schnelp. How
Schnelp-
are you?
Schnelp
My
looks-
name is Dustu Galu.
Schnelp looks back and kind of leans at you, and he kind of turns and takes his hands off the piano, which continues to play, but he waves at you and smiles a big smile, and then goes back to playing the piano, which would never stopped playing.
Greetings and well met, maid. Do you know why we were bade?
I'm afraid not, but I'm glad that you're here. There's much we can do. There's nothing to fear.
Must we rhyme all the time?
I don't know what you mean. This is just how I speak. You can speak nicely, or you can speak weak.
Oh,
So, please, come sit down. Would you like some tea? If you have some nice names, then please tell them to me.
yes, I'm Sugarmama. And, this is...
I am Dustu Galu.
I am Frostbyte.
Looks to you expectantly. Zewxip.
We are Zewxip, the blossom of Floran. Pleasure to meet you. We will not be boring.
And he kind of smiles a big smile with his goosey mouth. And he goes, "Ah, yes, a turtle stuck there in your shell. To you I say hello, hello I will yell. And you there, you Zewxip, I see you're a flower. I wish you bright sunshine and gentle rain showers. You there are strange. I've never seen such a lizard. Are you perhaps some kind of witch or a wizard? And then you're a spider, a menagerie of animals. Let's have lots of fun. Let's make lots of planimals. For I'm Dr. Seuss, I'm Dr. Goose, and I'm from
Definitely not Seuss.
and I'm from Seuss, you see. I'm Goose. I'm Goose from Seuss, and a doctor, MD. And he smiles, and you see 4 kind of 5 cups of tea just appear on the table in front of you. Bloop, 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 bloop. They all just kind of smack down. Is the music kind of doing this weird like ping-pongy thing for you guys?
No, not really.
Oh, I'll just refresh the page. It's acting funky on my
I would be happy to accept this tea, if you please. Hey, tell me, would you like some cookies?
Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds awful grand. Put them right here. Put them right in my hand. And he holds his hand out.
I will give him some cookies.
All right, yeah, he reaches out and takes them, and he very gingerly, despite his massive size, kind of just takes a nice little pleasant bite of one of the cookies, and he seems very content here to just kind of sit down. So what brings you here? Brings you here to my home? I like it right here. Be you goblin or gnome?
Well,
The dreamwalker monk sent us, my friend.
Oh yes, my friends. I met them quite recently. They are very nice, and they treated me decently.
yes, they are quite nice, but you see, well, where did you come from, Miss Dr. Goose?
Oh, I'm from neither here, nor am I from there. I'm from not one place, but I'm from everywhere.
I see. But can you go back to here, nor there, nor everywhere?
I suppose that I could, but the sun here is sunny. The grass is quite green, and the laughs are quite funny.
Are they not as green and as funny where you come from, Dr. Goose?
I suppose that they could be and how, but the grass green is here, and the green grass is now.
Now here is the thing I see right here. The grass is greener both here and over there.
The grass can't be greener in 2 places at once. That is rather strange. Are you some kind of dunce?
No, friend, no. As you see from right here, the grass can look greener well over there. But if you are over there, well, look back over here, and the grass will be green. Green again, I fear.
That is strange. You're thinking quite correct, but I don't know if I want to just leave so quick.
That one was a bit of
Well-
a stretch, friend.
Well, then how
Oh,
about a
well-
party to see you off? We couldn't let you go. Not without a
Some broth. Sure.
And he goes, first to correct your most unstable gumbly. My words can be wobbly and my words can be wombly. It does not matter. My mastery of language can move around hither and winger and language.
Well, that may be true, Dr. Goose. You see, the dreamwalker monks have asked us to get rid of thee.
Ah, I see. They want me to go. It seems rather rude, as I'm just here, you know. But I like your idea. You there. What was Sugarmama? Let's have a party. Let's have one up. Hurrah!
Yes, that sounds lovely, dear. I can bake some cookies. I'm really good. I've got some sugar cookies. But perhaps I'll need more.
That is quite fine. I would love to eat cookies. Let me see those. Here, let me quick have a looky. And he looks down at the cookies. And he's just kind of, sitting here very pleasant. So a party you'll have, and then you wish me to go. I'd rather not leave, to that I'd say no, but if you insist, I don't wish to be rude, we'll have a quick party, and then, well...
Toodaloo?
Toodaloo's pretty good. The word I was thinking of was crude, so I didn't want to say it. But don't mind, he doesn't say that. He says, Toodaloo, an excellent point. Let's get out of here.
I shall keep it together for all of us.
And he says, so here at a party, and if we don't want it to be lame, we could play something fun. How about we play a game?
Oh,
What
I
game
like
do you have in mind?
games. Games are delightful. I play games with my boys. They are quite spiteful, though.
I'm sorry to hear. That sounds most unfun. When I play a game, I am always the one.
The
Sure.
one?
The one.
The
Sure.
one, the victor, the one who's on top, the best at the game, be it bim, bam, or bop.
I do like me a good bim, bam, and bop.
Ah, you like bim and you like bam and bop. Then I think you'll like friends here. There's 3 and they're tops. For if we play games, it isn't quite fair, you see. For you are 4, I'll need mans 1, 2, and 3. And he kind of snaps his finger, which is weird because he has a wing, but then you just see out of the ground, whip, 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 3 more of those kind of strange, 3 more of those strange kind of beings with the palm hat heads and the pajama pants all kind of pop up from the ground, and they have 1, 2, and 3 respectively on their shirts.
How lovely, how divine. Now, boys, saddle up. It's game time.
Yes, you've intrigued me. Please, let's play a game. I love to play everything, or Goose isn't my name. And I suppose I could choose, but I'm not sure. So I'll pick the rules, and the game you assure. And he seems to be saying that he'll, if you guys pick the game, he will choose what the rules of that game are.
Dragon chess?
Yeah, he's just there kind of waiting for you guys to come to a decision.
So
Dragon
competition
chess.
to sail to the horizon.
What?
And
Well, I know a game, my boys. Play it well. It's called tag. And I'm sure you know it well.
Dr. Goose kind of nods his head a little bit. And then he kind of speaks up and says, But if we play a game and I am the winner, I'll stay here for all time through each lunch and dinner. And if you win, of course I'll leave and the party will end, but I'd never want to leave when I'm here with my friends.
Oh dear, that wasn't the deal. We'd play a game, have a party, and then you'd leave us. Yeah.
But
I'm trying so hard.
that's fun. Absolutely, I appreciate it because it's not you don't have to, and I love it so much. And he looks over. Well, that's the rules, and I don't have to leave. I would choose if you won. I would choose for the week.
For the week? Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay.
So those are the terms. Accept them or not, those are the terms, and that's what you've got.
Before we agree, can I speak with my compatriots 3?
That is fine. Take all the time that you want. I will still be here. I'll be here. No plant.
Struggling a little bit there, Pete.
That was a tough one.
Yep.
Well, one way or another, he must leave, but let's play his game for now. I mean, if we win, he might leave peacefully.
That
It
is
sounded as if-
preferred.
It sounded as if Dr. Goose indicated that the friends must also go before he does.
Hmm. Well, let's play
Yes,
the
but
game.
when
It'll
is-
be good fun. Tag's not for two and not for one.
You know, we're speaking to each other. We don't have to speak in rhymes right now, right?
What are you
Yes.
talking about? I'm not speaking in rhymes. Am I? Oh dear.
And kind of speaks over. And he there is right. You don't have to rhyme at all. I enjoy rhyming. It is quite a ball, but if you don't want to, I won't think you small. Don't rhyme, or if you must, simply just stall.
I did not realize I was still rhyming. It's quite catchy, you know.
It is quite contagious as well. I mean,
But yeah, he's just there waiting for you guys to pick what the game
we
is.
agreed? I mean, besides, he never said we couldn't cheat.
Well, there's no
Is
cheating.
there
He didn't
such a-
establish rules.
Yes, isn't there such a thing as cheating?
Well,
I promise my rules will be chosen quite fairly. I love a fair game where you only win barely.
Oh, that seems like a good game. I like close games. My boys, you know, they get away from me from time to time, but Mama has her ways. She is a wily one, you see.
we'll agree to your terms for now, but you must promise us that if we win, you will leave peacefully. Though
That is
you
the
might
deal,
you
and
can't
that
stay.
I... Oh, sorry.
So-
Go on.
Yeah. And while you can't stay here, you can go just about anywhere afterwards.
He nods and he goes, "A deal is a deal, and that one I accept. When I make a promise is kept."
Then let
Let
us
us begin a
choose.
game we must play. Let us start the day. Hooray, hooray.
What game? Because you guys were conferring. If you want to speak about this out of character, tell me what game you recommend to the Dr. Goose.
I thought it was tag.
Oh, are we doing tag?
I mean,
I mean, we could play Duck Duck Goose, but that is essentially tag.
It is. It's tag in a circle.
yeah. I mean, we could always make the hide and seek, but that would probably draw us out too long.
Yeah.
Let's play tag.
All right. So you've chosen the game tag. I'll tell you this now. I've got this in the bag, and in a moment he kind of flaps his wing out, and you see all kind of around in the space, just kind of trees and stuff, and the terrain starts to like shift and move. You watch as big trees kind of whoop, kind of like pop out of the ground and shift. You watch as the almost like, you know, mesmerizing, almost like a kaleidoscope building is kind of like fold in and around themselves and kind of move to create an extremely like maze and chaotic environment in which, if we're going to tag, then we need to hide quick. If we're going to tag, then, well, you better be slick. So here is a question, and I'll ask it to you. Would you rather be it first or be it number two?
I love this man. I love this duck. This goose.
Duck, duck, goose, talk. No. Anyway,
Do you want to be it first or second, he says?
I will leave the decision up to you, Mama.
Why me?
Oh,
Because you're the one who plays this with her boys.
Yes.
It wins.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll be it first.
you've chosen, and so it be reckoned that you'll be it first and I'll be it second. Let's now begin. I think it will be fun. A game that I'll win and a game I'll have won. Now begin game. If you tag me, I'm through, but you'll have not too much time. Perhaps rounds of 2? Yes, I think that's right. We'll do rounds twicely. You'll win in 2 rounds, or you won't win quite nicely. And he's saying that you have 4 rounds in which to tag him, and then the round ends and he gets to go. And if one of you wins by 2, then you are victorious. You interpret that perfectly from that gibberish and mishmash. So one of you has to like get a sound advantage. If you tie, then you got to go again. But if you win your round and his round, then the game ends and you are victorious. So as such, he goes, well then, I suppose all that's left is to count. Bring it on down, count to an amount, and I think that I'll pick for that number just 10. Count down from 10, or I'm not a goose, but a hen. And he kind of flaps his big wings. He flaps his big wings. This is hard. And he flies off and just kind of disappears. And you watch as those 3 little guys that he kind of popped up all kind of scurry around. And as they do, they all kind of run around and are making this kind of little chuckling sound as they go off. And the piano player just kind of stops dead all of a sudden in this moment of tense relaxation as you guys have 10 seconds to count down. Do you talk at all before you count?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the piano player once more erupts into a fervent melody as I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Okay. This is quite the experience today.
Oh, I finally figured out the problem. I had Roll20 open twice, and that's why I hear music twice. Oh, that's so much better. All right.
That explains it.
That explains so much.
All right, so Dr. Goose is gonna roll. Wait, where's Dr. Goose?
Dr. Goose is dead. There's only little.
Oh, thank God. All right, I found him. All right, Dr. Goose is gonna roll for initiative. And as well as man's 1 to 3. All right. So Dr. Goose is off somewhere hiding.
Okay.
Alright.
Adorable.
And you also see the 3 things 1 through 3 ripoffs, man's 1 through 3. Also are kind of have run off, and they did that kind of on the rounds while you were counting. So in essence, the first act, I mean, Dr. Goose is acting behind the scenes, but Frostbyte, what do you want to do?
Let's see. I am. Part of me wants to cast Sleet Storm, but that might make it harder for us. So, yeah, I'm gonna spend this round making a web with my
with your class feature. You're just gonna kind of create a protective web around the starting area here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you go out and you begin putting together a web.
Yeah. Yeah. Set up a web. So yeah. I'm
very well.
Setting up the web.
Cool. You begin kind of filling out the starting area as we move next in initiative 2. I have lost it. Next initiative 2. Zewxip, what do you want to do?
All right, so we. This is more of a hide and seek than a tag.
Yeah, we have to tag them. Like if you find them, you still have to tag them to get it. But they're hiding right now, like out in the forest.
Okay. then what I'd like to do is this like massive acres and acres, or is this kind of a little arena?
It's all in like the little area around the mountaintop. You can see on the outside edges of it, he's put like a very thick wall of trees. He's put a very thick wall of trees that have kind of put up around the outside, making like a barrier around the mountaintop.
Okay, well, I'd like to choose an area that would be in a corner or off to the side. And I would like to use my racial thorns and petals plant growth to make a 200-foot diameter area of vegetation, just bind up anyone that's hiding, that could be hiding in that.
How big is the area that you said? 100-foot radius. Woof. Yeah, you're getting like a fair chunk of the mountaintop here, and you kind of saw the direction that they went, so you're kind of able to, you know, do it in the rough direction that you expect. So I think everyone but all of the mans are going to have to make saves. They make strength saving throws. Is that right?
I'm double checking 1 second. It's not really a saving throw. If they're moving through it, they must spend 4 feet of
It's
movement for every
difficult
1 foot.
terrain.
Oh, okay. All right, so yeah, the whole chunk of this area is now difficult terrain. Very good. Anything else on your turn?
I'll move over in that direction. Are they yelling? Are they obvious now that they've been bound up in vines and stuff?
They're not like instantly kind of making any noise. You can hear just generally around the area, like pinging in off of different spots. You can hear the occasional whoo, whoo, and you hear one of them kind of go wah as the vines come up.
Okay, I'll start walking in that direction.
All right, cool. So yeah, you begin moving in that general area as we move next to, I believe it is Dustu.
Okay. Gonna kind of shoot. I'm just gonna try to listen and see if I can hear the goose or see the goose.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
21. Oof. All right, yeah, you're looking around the area, and he's definitely nowhere visible, and it's strange because pretty much all of the trees are too thin for him to hide behind because he's such a huge thing. And then you look up into the trees, and you can see up above you, like, there's one tree where the leaves seem to be in a perfect goose shape.
I see. Well, that's where I'm going.
All right, it's on like the far side. As you begin walking, it's also, are your allies also affected by the difficult terrain? Zewxip? Because it's in that range.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't write on allies. I could exclude areas. Instead of people. So I don't know. I guess while doing that, I could have created a path that could either allow us access to the interior of the radius, or it would sort of bottleneck them. Because if they want to get free to a path, then we're just going to be on that.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, we'll say you have a nice little path. So Dustu, you begin taking off down the path, and you get close down, you're about halfway to you're most of the way to the goose.
Cool.
Yeah, great, you begin heading that way. As we move on to Sugarmama, what do you want to do, Sugarmama?
Okay, well, a good portion of the place is already covered in plants, right?
Yeah, the whole ground, kind of in the area in the direction they went. There's some space behind you, but you're not sure if anyone went that way or not. And for the most part, yeah, the area is pretty covered in plants. And there's a line leading down the middle that you're able to walk through without slowing down if you want to.
All right. Well, and we know where Mr. Goose is. Dr. Goose. Right?
You see Dustu kind of like taking off. No, Dustu, I assume you like point out Dr. Goose's location, or what you assume to be Dr. Goose's location.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, yeah. Dustu kind of points at the goose shape in the trees and heads off.
You boys sure are good at this game. Well, and Sugarmama will turn around and just plant a daisy leaf
behind them. And have another plant growth field covering the rear.
Oh my god. The entire you do the same thing where you make a path.
Yeah.
All right, the entire ground now is covered in this difficult terrain. As on one side, what does your plant growth look like, Zewxip?
It would be, it'd probably just be a field of flowers, like an extension of myself. So a lot of like twining roots and little blossoms coming off of them, just kind of like erupting up through the grass and the soil. So kind of like this is a dream state, so it's probably like a bunch of Zewxips all kind of like in a field clawing it.
Excellent. And on the other side, is it the field of daisies, I believe? Yes.
Yes.
And so you have these two kind of conflicting fields of flowers on either side, basically cutting semicircles on the map with paths leading through on both. And yeah, you guys have completely covered the playing field here in plants. Is it all for your turn?
I do want to ask this question. Did things 1, 2, and 3 have anything on them that was notable?
Like in possessions? No, they just seem to be in their little footy pajamas.
Oh, okay. Those are cute little footy pajamas.
Yeah, they have little palm fronds on their heads that kind of like stick out, but you're not sure if it's hair or an actual palm tree.
If a palm tree, I'd like to have that erupt and growth and bind them, please.
Can Sugarmama look around for one of the things?
Well, if you want to make a perception check, that's like a full action to like really focus and look. But like I said, you're kind of hearing sounds from around the area where different ones are like popping up and doing stuff.
All right, she'll head off in the direction of one of those sounds.
Right, yeah, you'll go down one of the paths anyway. It's probably the way to go, so you're not walking at quarter speed. So you get out into the field, yeah, go and do you want to go Daisy side or do you want to go? I know
Daisy
side is pretty well covered. Okay, cool. So you go Daisy side as we move around to. You watch as kind of on their turn as it gets to the mans 1 through 3. You see one of the mans begin kind of as you're getting closer to where they are, Zewxip, as you were the one headed most directly in that first one's direction. You can see man 1 begins kind of like sprinting outwards and then almost immediately like stumbles and falls on the vines and is kind of like clawing his way over the vines, moving very slowly. And he's just going kind of, oh, ow, oh, ah! As he's kind of trying to struggle away himself in the open as you're like approaching his hiding spot. The other two still seem pretty covered up, but you were locking in on that one. As we move next initiative to Dr. Goose, who's doing whatever he's doing. And then we move next in initiative to Frostbyte. What would you like to do?
Is the web set up?
Yeah, you have a nice thorough web kind of set up, giving you free access and almost like the air around the area that's kind of near the starting space.
Awesome. I'm gonna go up and try and see if I can locate Dr. Goose. Right.
Yeah, Dustu kind of pointed out the area that was a little bit higher up. So if you want to like dash over, with the dash action, you could get to the base of the tree that it looked like Dr. Goose was in.
Sure. That is what I will do.
All right, so you get over to that tree, as we're in round 2, by the way, you said you had 4 rounds to get to him. And that's going to bring us next to Dustu.
I'm going after this goose-shaped thing.
All right, do you want to dash up? You move over because you had gone basically half the distance that he had. So you move over, and you're now also at the base of the tree next to Frostbyte. You still have an action, and you can see the perfectly goose-shaped leaves in the tree.
Oh, I am definitely getting up that tree.
Climbing?
Yep.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
14.
All right, yeah, no problem. You're climbing hand over hand to the top of the tree, and as you kind of get closer, you see the leaves kind of rattle a little bit. And right as you're about to kind of like reach up and get to that spot, Dr. Goose is going to use his ready to action. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
23.
Oh my god. And as he kind of pops up, the leaves fall away and he starts flapping his wings intensely, creating a terrible breeze going down towards you as he calls out, "Go away now, don't come up here, get down, fall back to the floor, fall on back to the ground," as he's trying to get you down and away from this area that he's perched in, but you managed to hold resolute. He moved up a little bit and away, but his leg is going to be completely in grasp on the next turn as he's trying to push you back.
Perfect.
Your plan is almost complete as we move next to Zewxip.
Okay, so Dr. Goose has revealed himself, yes?
Dr. Goose has revealed himself, and you see Dustu is really close to getting him.
Seems that it's, looky here, just who we found. Seems that it is time to Earthbound. I'm spending 3 sorcery points. He makes a strength at disadvantage, or he's pulled to the ground and bound.
Oh, man. All right. Let me see. That was his big play. Was certainly that. So, where's the Roll20 go on me? Dr. Goose is going to make a strength saving throw, which he's good at, but he has disadvantage. That's a 16.
1 too high.
Sorry. Very sorry. I know it's always rough when one of those fails. Yeah, you watch as Dr. Goose is kind of like, you see the chains trying to almost, ethereally bring him down to the ground, but he whips and kind of curls his arms backwards and his wings stretch out and break through whatever magic he was trying to bind him there. Anything else on your turn, Zewxip?
Unless there's a more advantageous spot to, keep him in sight.
Nope. I'll say this, there's also the mans that you still have to catch the other little guys too, and there's that one that's crawling away, just to be...
Oh yeah, then I'll walk over, and if I can tag it, I will, otherwise I'll just...
Well, you're moving through your own difficult terrain, so you're also... Does it affect you? I assume it does, yeah?
It would, yeah.
Okay.
I planted it in an area.
So you're getting closer to him. He kind of ran out without realizing that he was going to be, getting stuck like he was, so you get up a little bit closer. You can probably close in on him next round at the rate that he's moving. And that's going to bring us next in initiative 2. That is... Oh wait, it should have been, Frostbyte. I think initiative got messed up. Oh no, I'm sorry. It should have been, I got messed up because Dustu went. It should have been Sugarmama. It wasn't quite, I don't think it was quite your turn yet, Zewxip, so I messed up on that one. So we'll give you that turn for free, I guess. Sugarmama.
Yes. So Zewxip got one of the things? Think 1, 2, or 3?
Zewxip is closing in on or man, let's be clear, is closing in on man 1, and the other 2 have not been seen, but you were heading off in the direction of one of them that you heard. But no one has been caught yet, officially. But Dr. Goose and man 1 are both on the ropes.
All right. Well, can I locate objects from man 2's booty pajamas?
Absolutely. You take a moment and kind of focus in, and you can see there's what looks like kind of a strangely shaped bush over to your right, and you just kind of get a ping in your mind of man 2 standing like on one leg with one leg out behind him and one kind of arm up and the other one kind of back, almost in like a ballerina's dancer pose, hiding perfectly behind the branches of this strange bush.
That's amazing. Alright, Sugarmama's gonna head off towards the bush and pretend like she doesn't know that
all right.
the thing is, sorry, man 2 is behind the bush.
All right, go ahead and make a deception check, and I'll give you advantage because, or performance, whichever one you're better at. And I'll give you advantage because it's a cool idea, and 2, you have like the spell aiding you in knowing the precise location, so you can act.
Alright, I'll just roll deception, I guess.
Ooh, 18. Man 2 seems to be completely locked in place in this odd pose, confident in his hiding spot at the moment that you're not heading towards him.
Well, I am heading towards him.
Well, you're heading towards him, but you
don't...
haven't realized his location as of yet. As we move now onto Dustu went. So that is the turn is now going to be the foes. The man 2 staying where they are. Man 3 has not yet been located at the beginning of or at the end of round 2, and man 1 is climbing and clawing away from you, Zewxip. He looks like he's moving good pace. You might have to do him like something to kind of catch up if you're going to get away. But he's moving his way across the plants, full dash, and then it's Dr. Goose's turn. Dustu, Dr. Goose attempts to fly away from you up into the air, you provoking an opportunity attack as you are like in range to grab him as he does. So this would be the get if you get him.
I'm gonna get him.
You got your one claw dug into the side of the tree. You can.
Yep. Do I just make a weapon attack? Or like an unarmed attack or what?
Do you have whatever you have?
Okay, I'll just. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Whatever. 19.
All right. Just barely. You whip up with your warhammer, and right as Dr. Goose is kind of pulling away and flying up into the sky, you catch him right about the leg, and he kind of like stumbles and falls a little bit, and then just lets himself fall down to the ground. He goes, "Oh goodness, oh dear! It would seem I've been caught. Mans 1 through 3, hide, or all be for naught." Yeah, you've caught one, and perhaps the hardest of them. Although man 3 is as of yet unfound. We move next on to the top of the initiative. That was Dr. Goose's turn, on which he got. So that's going to be Frostbyte. What do you want to do, Frostbyte? 2 of them are located, and you see Sugarmama kind of. Actually, Sugarmama, you don't probably know what she's doing, but she seems to have a good handle. And then there's the one that's running across the ground that Zewxip's, pursuing, but both of them are moving very slow on the thorns or the vines.
Do I know the general location that 3 disappeared in, or?
You know that he went like to the side that you're on, which most of them did. Only one of them kind of went backwards away from you. But you don't know like specifically, but you know that you're in like the right general area for him.
Okay. Let's see. So I have anything that can help me locate him? Plenty of stuff that can help me hide, but wait, let's see this. Okay, that could help me catch him, but only if I see him first. Okay, I want to see if I can't. I want to use perception to see if I can't locate him.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check as you're
Alright.
kind of seeking over in the yon woods. You look around and a 16. Their stealth rolls were not that good. So as you're looking around for a spot, you can see one of the kind of little buildings, one of the monasteries got kind of folded up, and you can see right now just kind of like sticking out of the chimney of this weird folded building, you can see 2 little like feet kind of like kicking in the air, like it was trying to go down that chimney and then got stuck.
Okay, exactly how far away is that?
20 feet across the difficult terrain of the vines, and then up inside the building.
So, alright, is that chimney like over 30 feet? Is the top of is the chimney where I see the feet over 30 feet from me?
The chimney where you see the feet, is it 30 feet from you?
Yeah, like exactly how far would you say this? That's
about, 30 feet, I think is fair, including vertical distance.
Then I am going to use Misty Step as a bonus action.
Oh no! All right, yep, you get up right next to him. Whip! You just kind of zip over, and you just tap on to the end of his little feet. He's like looking up and trying to like squirm down. He goes, no, and then boop. And you hear Dr. Goose just kind of let out a great sigh. I thought we would win. I thought we'd all be free, but it seems now you've captured my man's number 3. And 2 mans remain here in the 3rd round. It is actually coming down to the wire, though, as we move next in initiative to Zewxip. What would you like to do?
Oh.
A few questions. Would a double move let me catch up to this man?
Because he's also double moving and he has 30 speed. He's essentially, keeping pace with. You'd be keeping pace with him, so you'd need to do something to get him.
If I enlarged myself, would that give me any kind of either not necessarily extra movement, but would that do anything to the terrain now that I'm large Zewxip?
I think that's fair to say. I think if you're have these much bigger steps and you don't have to get tangled on every branch and thorn, that you could make larger strides. So I think instead of quarter movement, because it would be half movement.
Now, my sweet friend, let's not be too hasty. King size is superior to fun size. Tasty.
Oh my goodness.
Excellent one. And you begin taking very big steps. So that's your action, and then your movement. You're moving twice as fast, but you only do a regular move, but you're decidedly gaining on him now.
And we have one more round, correct?
Yep, you have one more round,
Okay.
so you will get to him next round at the current pace. And that's going to bring us around to Dustu. You're up on the kind of tree.
Cool.
There's only 2 rounds left, and there's a lot going on.
Does it look
that's far away
like
from
who's the furthest away from there? Mans.
At the moment, you don't even know. I guess you can't tell what Sugarmama's doing because you don't see the one that is hiding from her kind of weirdly in that bush. But
Okay.
so I guess the one that you'd see as farthest would be Zewxip.
Cool. I'm gonna hold person on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are going to make a wisdom saving throw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yes.
That is correct.
Everyone knows that mans are exceedingly wise.
Are they? Are they really?
And you watch as the mans that you're stepping and chomping towards Zewxip is frozen and locked in place. And now just kind of there on the vines, and you're getting closer. This is mans 1. And that's all for your turn, I presume?
Yep.
Sugarmama.
I guess Sugarmama will. Is she close enough to tag the guy?
If you are dashing, you could get up and tag.
All right. Would he perhaps react?
You would take I'll let you make another deception check, not as an action, but just do it to see if he notices until the last moment. Because once you get close, he does have a ready action to run essentially. But if you can really sell it, he won't even try to run, and you'll just get him. But he will. So go ahead and make me that.
Deception.
All right.
Go ahead and make me that deception. 10. No, so you kind of get up close, and you get very close. And right as you kind of zip around and go to tag, hear him just go, woo! And kind of take a couple steps back, and then start stumbling also on the daisy field that's up around here, which you're both, moving fairly slowly through.
That's fair.
And
Is that my action?
that's your
Yeah, I
action to deceive because you're going slow. But now he's 30 feet away from you, so you actually on your next. He gets to run again. So yeah, he's
Doesn't she
escape.
get her reaction to
Oh, that's true. Go ahead and make an opportunity attack.
All right. Just with the.
Whatever melee thing that you have.
All right. I'm gonna bop him with the Tootsie Pop.
16 will hit a man's. And my apologies, I forgot about that. And as the man's is kind of running away in this instance, you hear Dr. Goose just kind of call out, oh no, dear. Tell me, what will I do? It seems now we've lost both Mans 3 and Mans 2, as Mans 1 is the only one that is left, and they are held. Nice grab, Sugarmama. As he Tootsie Pot him. Tootsie Pop, he just kind of floats onto the ground and flops onto his back and just goes, ah. That's going to bring us next to
Man 1.
Man 1 is going to make a wisdom save to see if he can break out of it. It's just a d20 plus 1. Man 1 is held person.
Yeah, he's stuck.
I guess in some sense, Zewxip, would you care to describe what is the killing blow in this game of tag? As it moves on to you. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's actually
Frostbyte.
It is Frostbyte. It is you first.
Fine, Frostbyte, buy me a minute to make a line if I need to.
Well, I don't have anything that can make you faster. I have things that will make him slower, but he's not moving, so I will just hold.
Yeah, you just hold.
Hold my actions. No, not do anything. So yeah, go Zewxip.
Okay,
Or
gotta
whoever's
run.
next.
All right, Zewxip, would you care now to describe the killing blow on
I'll
this?
stomp through the vegetation.
The
Down.
footsteps land heavy.
You did well in this game. You ran and you hid. Now Zewxip's behind you. Nothing personnel, kid. And I grab the man.
You grab the man's, and as you do so, all of the man's kind of, and Dr. Goose lets out something of a bellow, and oh no, oh gosh, they all seem to be gone. You got mans 1 through 3. I'll be gone before long. And you have won this first of the rounds of tag, and Dr. Goose kind of calls out to you, and he says, "All right, I see now that here I've been bested. I don't think that your ability to hide need be tested. You beat me quite thorough. You beat me good, quick. You beat me to a pulp. You gave me quite a lick." And Dr. Goose seems to be conceding here in this moment, as you guys
We beat him so bad, guys.
have so thoroughly trounced him.
Dr.
Oh,
Goose,
well.
don't worry. Just because you have to leave here doesn't mean you can't stay somewhere else within the lines of DnDTime. I mean,
Yes, we'd
I just
love
think-
to play with you again. Perhaps you can visit me in the Candy Mountains.
And just think of it like this. The more opportunities to travel, the more friends you'll make. More games you'll play.
And he kind of smiles a big smile at this thought, and he kind of looks over at the group of you. "Yes, I'm beaten, you've won, I'm defeated and through. You beat me quite through, a strong thing to do, and since we made a wager, I guess I must leave. I'll go somewhere else, though leaving I'll grieve. But I hope here at the end of the end, that for you four, I've become a dear friend. So,"
Oh, yes, indeed.
he smiles, good.
Oh, yes, indeed. A dear friend indeed.
Like, indeed.
Yes. Oh, yes. And he kind of smiles and looks over each of you and just goes, "So, see you. Goodbye. Adios now. Adieu. So long after while, and farewell to you." And Dr. Goose kind of starts flapping their wings. You watch as mans 1 through 3 kind of hop up onto his back, and in his kind of duck-like webbed feet, he picks up the whole piano, and Shelp, still sitting on the air playing at it, continues to just kind of play him away, and that sound kind of slowly fades into the distance. And as he kind of flies off into the evening, he just kind of calls out, "And goodbye now, I'll miss you. For all time, refrain. I hope that you see your friend Dr. Goose again." And he just kind of waves away. And as he's flying away, you start to hear a chorus of cheers from a bunch of miscellaneous dreamwalkers who all have like the accordion legs guy that you saw before. They all have just strange things that have happened to him. As the monastery and he disappears, slowly starts to just seemingly fix itself, and things around here start to return to normal.
We have
And-
done good deeds all day to everyone, including the goose. I am proud of all of you.
And mans 1, 2, and 3. Then count Zewxip a friend. All of us we.
And you watch as Soam, the leader of the Dreamwalkers, walks over and she goes, Okay, for the love of God, please stop with the rhyming. I've been listening to it for a whole day now. It is really starting to get on my nerves. Please stop.
I understand.
And
I am also not a big fan of the rhymes.
I heard when you said I understand, you were starting to phrase it as a rhyme because you said, and I understand. You put it on the stand part. So just
Oh,
let's all just tone it down.
we apologize.
I need to
but,
get back to my boys. And I
Yes,
probably
I have-
have their mama.
That doctor has a habit of making people rhyme without meaning it.
I
We
have more.
apologize.
I have more sleep. I mean meditation to get to. We shall be off then, friends.
Very good. I owe all of you some money, I do believe, yes?
Yes,
200
yes,
Bartholomew
yes.
bucks? Thank God. All right. And she hands out to each of you 200 Bartholomew bucks, and each of you gain 1 point of experience. And perhaps you've also gained a dear friend. And with that, each of you is now victorious in this adventure. Thank you all for playing through this really ridiculous, more ridiculous than average DnDTime adventure.
Alright. Yeah.
Aw, thanks. I loved it.
I'm glad.
A lot of fun.
It was perfect.
It was great.
And with that, would any of you like to shop?
I don't know how many Bart bucks I have. How much is a pool?
500. And I
Oh.
actually do want to pull.
Very
You know
well.
what? I will also pull because I just made enough this round for it.
I will pull if I have enough, but I'm not sure I do.
Oh my God! Everyone, here in the end, Jeremy.
You do have enough funds.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll do a pull then.
You return to the shop. Bartholomew greets you as you enter. Hey, greetings, adventurers. Is there anything I can get for you today?
Hello, Bartholomew.
Yes,
Hello,
Hey,
Bartholomew.
Sugarmama, it's wonderful to
Would
see
you
both
like
of you.
a cookie, dear?
I would, perhaps I could engage in a cookie. He reaches out.
Engage the cookie.
He takes one and pops it. That
Well,
cookie was tasty. It was quite good. I liked eating it. I ate it quickly.
Oh dear, I thought you were going to
I
ride.
did too.
Why did you think that?
Anyway,
We've had a time in the slumbering spine. Not to worry.
yes,
I think the boys and I would like to have bag pulls,
Yes,
perhaps.
yes, I think so as well.
Very good, very good. In that case, you step up to the bag. I believe Frostbyte, you were first. What do you want to, or I guess not what do you want to, roll a D1000. And as always, I wish you the best of luck.
Sure, I would love to roll a D1000.
All right.
Let's see.
Done, 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 done.
375. All right. Let's us see what we have here. All right. So you, this is the fun. I don't know what this is, but I already love it by the name. You reach into the bag and your hand passes over first some kind of a potion, a small bottle, and then a sword. It feels heavy and weighty in your hands. What you grab is a small red chair. And Bartholomew says, it's foldable, it's simple. And Bartholomew says, it's a great place to rest and think. This is the thinking chair. It will clear your mind and sharpen your thoughts. While you're sitting in it, you'll have advantage on intelligence ability checks or saving throws. Some people have said that they have existential crises while sitting in the chair, but I don't think that's true. And that was created by Bionic Shiba. Thank you very much for the submission, Shiba. And you've gained the thinking chair, which you can place down and help you think when you need to.
Nice.
The thinking chair.
I love the reference.
Mama, would you like to go next?
Would you?
Oh, please go ahead, Dustu.
Dustu, a D1000.
All right. Big money.
Best of luck.
That's
Ooh.
the biggest kind of money right there.
That's the real money. Yes.
Yes.
All right. You reach into the bag and you find within, your hand passes over here. There seems to be a number of, a lot of these seem common, like you almost recognize them as you're touching them. There's some type of instrument, perhaps an instrument of illusions, a tankard of sobriety, not something you're interested in, but what you grab here, it's a rope that you pull out. And Bartholomew says, this is not just any hempen rope. It is a rope of mending. If it is destroyed, you can speak a command word, and it will repair itself, fixing itself back into a single rope. You've gained a rope of mending, a common magic item.
That's cool.
Very good, very good. And last but not least, Sugarmama.
Yes, I'll do a roll. A D1000.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh. All right. 474. You reach into the bag, and you find your hand passes over. Let me see here. Your hand passes over first what appears to be a fan, small, perhaps like a folding fan, something like that. And then something squishy and kind of slimy. You let that fall, and instead you pull out a pair of sandals. They appear to be, they're very heavy. They're made of what looks like almost solid gold. And Bartholomew kind of speaks up. These are the sandals of Bartholox. Did you know that there's a whole group of gnomes that worship me as a god?
I did not. That is quite interesting, isn't
yes,
it?
It's true. I mean, they made these sandals because I guess they're powered by your faith and money. And while you wear them, your speed will be reduced. You'll become immune to the Featherfall spell, but when any effect would attempt to move you or cause you to move, you would be unable to be done so and automatically see it, including things.
Yes.
You may choose to. You obviously cannot be moved by any magic, or things like a Trask's swallow perhaps wouldn't be able to get you, even though the creature is so mighty. Also, there's another effect, which I don't know if this is relevant, but while you own this item and you choose to pull from Bartholomew's big bag bonanza, you may instead choose to pull an item of Bartholox if one exists. This is an interesting one.
Oh, it's interesting.
Lovely.
Yeah, you've gained the sandals of Bartholox.
Cool.
And that is
Gotta catch them all the Bartholox gear.
You've gotten
Apparently.
the first one. I knew that there were Bartholox things. I've seen them, but I never read that little chunk. That's very interesting. That is.
It's a set, guys. You can
That's
catch
all.
them all.
Thank you all very much for playing.
Thanks again.
You didn't want anything?
Yeah, that was great.
Did Maddie? Maddie, did you not want to shop?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
saving up for a choice.
Excellent.
Nice.
In that case, Jeremy, shall we away to the outro screen?